Welcome, folks, to the Meditation Club. It's really good to be back with you. And this week, I'm going to explain to you some ideas about the right place to meditate, the best place to meditate. We're going to look at a few questions. Firstly, does it make a difference whether you meditate in one place or another place? Secondly, what places are better than others and what makes them different? And thirdly, how can you create a good meditation space? How can you make your place better when that's where you're going to meditate anyway? So I want to start off by telling you a couple of experiences I've had that really show you the difference between meditating in one spot or another spot. You know, in the philosophy of yoga, there is a concept known as a Tantra Pit. That's a Sanskrit term, and what it means is it's a kind of a spiritually charged spot where if you meditate there, you'll find it much easier. You'll go deeply into your meditation really quickly. It's conducive to a deep meditation experience. And a Tantra Pit is created by a person meditating in that place very deeply for a long time. So there are some spots in India where a great yogi might have lived. There was a cave I meditated in East India, and in that cave a yogi had lived and meditated most of his life and achieved maybe some high state of realization years ago, maybe centuries ago. I don't know when he lived, but that was known as the spot where this yogi used to live. So I went there with some friends, and it was a pretty long hike, and then we took a bath in the freezing cold river and went up to the cave. And in front of the cave there's a big stone sort of platform, a sort of big flat stone, and I meditated there. It's in the middle of this plain, a very peaceful place. It was amazing. I closed my eyes and immediately I was gone, like in another world, completely calm and peaceful, and felt limitless and blissful. It was beautiful. My meditation isn't always like that, believe me. This was something special. I was benefiting hugely from the energy that yogi had built up and created in that little environment. So that's a Tantra Pit. And there are a number of them, especially in that particular area, because there have been yogis living in that area and practicing for many centuries. A very good friend of mine worked in Italy for a while. He's also a monk, and he got an opportunity to meditate in the cave where St. Francis of Assisi used to meditate. So obviously that cave's in Assisi. And he's had a similar experience. He said it was beautiful, very, very blissful experience. He could feel the energy. It was palpable. So that's how good it can get, and there are a few places like that. You're not likely to have a Tantra Pit like that in your backyard, unfortunately. But on the good side, I have to say that I've had incredible meditation experiences in unlikely environments. I remember when I was quite new to meditation, and I was traveling on the back of a truck. It was probably illegal. There were a few of us, and we were going to do some kind of a medical training program. So we were sitting in the back of this truck, and it's bouncing up and down, and I'm sitting there meditating, completely in bliss, extremely ecstatic feeling. And there was a dog, a huge red setter, Irish setter, that wouldn't go away. It kept leaning on me, and I'd push it away, and I think the dog was getting high. And I was having this fantastic meditation in this crazy, entirely unlikely situation. So that's also possible, but it doesn't happen very often, at least in my experience. But it's generally easier to choose somewhere where there is some spiritual vibration or some energy, and it's peaceful. So, I don't usually choose to go around meditating on the back of moving trucks in the company of large dogs. So what are some of the places that are perhaps more accessible to ordinary people in their ordinary lives where we can have good meditation? Well, one is your local meditation center, if there is one. Any place where people have been meditating regularly, especially in a group, will over time develop a kind of a charge, kind of conducive atmosphere. I happen to live in a meditation center, and the meditation room here is a fantastic place for meditation. People have been chanting and meditating, and it's been a kind of sanctified place for 40 years and more. So this is a really great place to meditate, and I happen to be lucky enough to live in this house. But you may have a meditation center in your local area, or a place where people gather to meditate. try and meditate there as regularly, not maybe once a week at least, and meditate with other people. When you have live people there all tuning into the same idea, that also creates a kind of collective energy. So group meditation is a great place to meditate. When you're meditating on your own, try and seek out a place where other people have meditated for a while, but you're going to want to have a meditation place in your own home as well. Before we get to that, let's look at outside places to meditate. What are conducive environments in the outdoors? I love meditating near waterfalls. If you've ever been near a waterfall and you can just hear the sound of the water, and I think there's negative ions being generated by the water, and you feel this wonderful kind of energy. And breaking waves can do the same thing, and I think it's a combination of the sound, which is very soothing and kind of feels very expansive, and some kind of chemical process with the negative ions, and also the prana, the kind of vital energy in the water. So we're picking up on all of that, and it can be really good for meditation. So I love to seek moving water outside. And you can even use that inside. You might have a little indoor kind of waterfall kind of thing, and that can give you a bit of the same effect. Alternatively, in the snow. This is getting a little extreme, but I've had amazing meditation experiences in the snow. It's so still. It absorbs all the sound, and you can sit on something so that it's not freezing cold, and you get sunny days in the snow as well, or you can wrap up. But if you get a chance, go for those little bit extreme places where there's just this feeling of stillness and peace. Climb to the top of a big hill, meditate on the top with this amazing view. Okay, you're going to close your eyes, but you're there, and you'll go into the whole experience more readily. So those are some of the kind of places you might want to seek out. My spiritual master in India even told this pretty far out story, take it as you like, but he said that there's this planet in some nearby galaxy, near thy star system. There's a planet where the inhabitants are very, very highly spiritually evolved, way beyond we humans on Earth. They're very highly spiritually evolved, and he said even if you just go there and meditate for 5 minutes, you will go into a beautiful spiritual trance. You go into samadhi, because the energy on the whole planet is like that. They've made their whole planet into an incredible charged tantrapit. It's not so convenient, I know, but it's a nice idea. So how do you create your own meditation spot in your own house? Firstly, choose a spot. Find somewhere where you're not going to be doing anything else. It should be away from where you sleep, ideally a separate room. It should be away from where you're working. You want somewhere where you can close it off so nobody's going to disturb you. And something you should always do before meditating, in my view, is switch off all devices. Well, except in this case you might be doing a guided meditation using a computer or some device, but apart from that, switch off everything else. Close down all other applications, especially your Facebook or any of those things that might disturb you, and switch off your phone. Make sure that people in your house know that this is your meditation time, this is your sacred time. So you create this space and time which other people have got to be informed. They can't disturb you. You reserve that, and you have this special spot and meditate there every day. Gradually, with time, you'll build up an atmosphere in your own spot, and it'll become to really feel like a sacred spot. And I've visited houses where people have their own little meditation room, and it really works. These are people who've been meditating regularly there, maybe for a few years or even just 6 months, or it makes a difference. You can feel it. So you can create your own kind of mini tantrapit where your meditation becomes more fruitful. You can build it up yourself, and you do your chanting and your meditation there and nothing else. You keep it reserved for that purpose. So these are a few pointers to you getting the most out of where you meditate. And now we're going to go into our guided meditation exercise for this week. Thank you. Close your eyes and sit straight with your hands cupped in your lap and your thumbs together. Keep your back straight, but relax your shoulders. Take a slow, deep breath in. As you breathe out, let go of any tension in your shoulders or your back or your neck. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, just let go. Let the mantra Bhavanam Kevalam with the music continue in your mind as though you were hearing it. Keep your attention only on that. This memory of the music is what's happening right now. You are thinking of the music and the mantra. That is all. Focus on this that you are doing in the present moment. The present moment is perfect. It will always be perfect. Hold it like a drop of water suspended from the tip of a leaf, shining and still, always on the point of falling, but never falling, because you are still. Observe your own mind and feel that your precious inner self is like that drop of water. And if you hold all your attention upon it, you will not let it fall. Don't lose a moment of your precious life through inattention. The present instant is constant. but everything else is moving. Thoughts flow through it. Only the now is real. Past and future are mere imaginings. All that exists in reality is what is happening now. And what is happening now for you is your mind replaying the mantra and the music. Remember, if your mind wanders, just bring your attention back to your breathing. now just take a deep breath in and breathe out again. Remember that you are here, sitting in this place. Before you go back into the world, recall this feeling that you enjoyed in your meditation. Come back to it during the day so that you feel centered and calm until your next meditation. And now, when you feel comfortable, you can open your eyes.